have 3 products to talk about from one brand.
Yes.
This is a brand that I think has been around since time immemorial.
They are ubiquitous with home electronic things.
You wanted to avoid the one word there.
Yeah.
Generally.
Yeah.
I got it. General Electric.
Yes.
GE Lighting, or now under their smart stuff, GE Lighting is also GE Cync.
Yes.
That's CYNC.
Mm-hmm.
We have 3 different products, and these speak to 3 different kind of like use cases.
Yeah.
Maybe user types. All 3 of these could be under the same person.
Right. And these are all smart products.
Yep. These are things that if you have a smart home, you can kind of continue to expand it or outfit your house.
Mm-hmm.
These are also good things to start down the road of
Exactly.
a smart home.
Yeah.
These are kind of like my first foray into automation.
Yes.
Or maybe some keeping a better eye on things,
Mm-hmm.
not just physically, but also monetary. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you can do budgeting and things like that. So let's jump into these things.
Okay.
Let's start with, I guess, maybe the least,
Yeah.
I don't want to say attractive, but the one that does.
The simplest way to step into this. If you want to step into the smart things.
If you want to turn regular electronics and lights in your home into smart lights.
Yes.
This is a great way to do that.
You're right. That's a perfect way to do it. And this is the indoor smart plug.
Mm-hmm.
So what this is a plug that just plugs into a regular outlet. But it has the GE Cync technology in it, and it syncs up with the app or your
digital assistant.
Yeah, your digital assistant, whether it's home or...
We have to be very careful here in the office.
Right. We can't say trigger words.
There are many things listening for key phrases.
Right. So it works with Alexa or your home by Google.
Yes. Google Assistant.
And all this, so what this does is you can plug it into the outlet and then you plug something else into it. It's just one plug. So it just is a go-between your device and the outlet. And through it, then with the app, you can turn things on and off.
Mm-hmm.
Through your assistant. You can also set schedules. So if you're like, hey, I want to make sure the lamp by the front window is on every night at 7.
Yeah.
You can set that to do that. Or you can say, hey, I'm going to be gone. I forgot to turn the lights on in the house. I'm going to turn a light on. So it looks like somebody's home right now.
Or set it to automatically come on at sundown.
Right.
Off at sunrise.
Right.
Types of things.
And you can do all that in the app and control all those settings, or you can do them from the app just on the fly. You don't have to set the schedule. You can just go into the app and control whatever device is plugged into that by just, turning on the power.
Mm-hmm.
It also, like we said, works with voice control. And there's no like hub or any kind of extra setup that you have to do. You just have to set up the app initially, and then it'll just work.
Yeah, it's a really good way to start. Like if you want to keep track of a fan or like a curling iron or something that's plugged in, you're like, I don't know if I turn that off.
Sure.
If you have this as your outlet, this is your failsafe.
Right.
You can manually check your app and find out and then turn it on or off.
Right.
So this guy runs what, like $15, $16?
Yeah, that's really not much at all.
Yeah, I don't know off the top of my head, but I think that's what the price was for that. And that's a really inexpensive way to kind of get started down that path. If you have a more specific needs, or if you're saying, hey, I want to control, we're in an interesting time of the year where the temperature kind of fluctuates.
Mm-hmm.
Can be really warm for a day or two and then get wet and gross.
Mm-hmm.
Thermostats
Yes.
are a thing where I like to set this, but it might feel cold today.
Right.
I am tired of going over to the wall and adjusting these types of things. GE makes a really cool smart thermostat.
Yep.
That lets you, again, control it from the app or control it from your smart assistant.
Yep.
So you can use it by voice.
Yep.
It's a good thing to have for maybe you have rental properties.
Yeah.
And you want to keep kind of control those things, or you have an office, you want to control the settings, time certain things where maybe after hours it can kind of be whatever temperature, but as long as come 7 a.m. it's set to that temperature that you want.
Right.
You can do that. It's I think a lot of people tend to think of maybe one or two brands in that space.
Sure.
And I don't take away from GE here, but
right.
there are a few that if you go to your big box stores, you'll see a few that kind of stick out or do a little bit more advertising. But the GE one is obviously no less capable.
Yeah.
The app is a really nice experience so that you can kind of go in and see where you are real time, change the settings, look at historical data.
Yeah.
You figure out, hey, what has the temperature been in the house? Has anybody been changing it? I want it to be a certain temperature by a certain time. Schedule those things. There's a lot you can do with that.
Yeah.
Luke, do you happen to know the price of this one?
I do. So let me hop back to the plug. The plug is $15.
Okay.
The thermostats comes in at $120.
Okay.
The thermostat, one quick thing I noticed when I was doing some pictures of it, it has a really nice installation system.
Yeah.
The bracket that it comes with has an actual like level built into it, so you can make sure it's nice and straight on the wall. And
oh, that's right.
it seems like it's a really easy setup. Now it is a thermostat, so you still have to wire it in, but they give you all the instructions on how to do that. But yeah, it's cool. You can have it set to sync with your existing furnace's eco mode and that kind of stuff, so that you can try and keep your costs down.
Another accessory that you could get in addition to this, they have other temperature sensors. Where for me in my house, we have a thermostat downstairs, main floor, main room.
Right.
We spend a lot of time there. So whatever that room is, that's kind of like how we like the house to be set.
Sure.
But upstairs, our bedroom just generally gets very warm. We're above a garage. The insulation could be better above us. So we tend to get pretty warm. And we want to set the air to a certain temperature.
Yeah.
But once it reaches it, downstairs, it's like, hey, it just shuts off. We're like, no. We would love it if it would just continue to blow colder for a while.
Right.
They make sensors that you can get.
Yeah.
That we can set one in our bedroom.
Yep.
And say, this room needs to get to 62.
Right.
Or 68.
Right.
Or 84. Whatever you want it to be. That is pretty handy stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. That's I think they're just called room temperature sensors.
Yeah. Very it is what it is in the name.
Yeah. But that pairs well with that thermostat, so that you can get, like you said, those tricky rooms down to the temperatures you want to stay comfortable.
Yep.
So the third option, the third sync item that we're going to talk about is a indoor camera. This is a smart device, again, that has HD video. It also has night vision. It has two-way audio, so that you can use it kind of as a it's not a security camera necessarily.
Right.
You can use it for security if let's say you're in an apartment and you have maybe somebody's coming in to do some work, landlord's coming in to do some work. You can keep an eye on what's going on there. But more, you could just say, if the kids are coming home, you can say, hey, guys, don't forget to take the trash out. And they can, or you can say, hey, how was your day? And they can respond and you can hear them. So as two-way audio, it has person detection. So it will alert you when somebody walks in way of the camera. But it also has a privacy shutter too. So it's not an always on. You can turn that off if, for instance, you do have it in your home and you want to make sure that, nobody's looking or anything like that. You can turn that off. It has a built-in hard drive that can store, X amount of video.
Mm-hmm.
But it pairs in with that same app.
Yep.
It all works in tandem, all syncs up with your digital assistant, so you can do everything you need to. The camera's cool because it has a stand, but it has a full 360 turn and can kind of be positioned almost anywhere. A lot of times you see these cameras only have like an up and down that they can do. It does have a base to mount it like on a wall if you want to. If you want to mount it, in a corner of a room or something, you can do that if you want to. But I thought this was kind of nice because it has that full kind of 360 turn that you can get, kind of the perfect angle that you want.
Yep. This is a good thing if you've got kids as almost like a baby monitor.
Yep.
If you've got pets, you just want to keep an eye on.
Sure.
If you need to, maybe if you have multiple in your house, you can kind of chat from room to room.
Sure.
You can also basically, have the peace of mind of knowing that it's always going to work because it's not a battery operated. It's indoor.
Right.
It's plugged in. You always have an eye in that room. I've got an office. Obviously, we're at the office. I could check from home and see what's going on here. Hop in anytime. I can also set it up so that, if I just wanted to, somebody stops in, I can just chat and say, hey, just leave the package there. I'll, be back tomorrow. Pick that up.
Right.
It's a clean, minimal design. It works well with pretty much any environment, decor, kind of thing.
This one comes in at $70.
Yeah, not bad at all.
Yeah.
And again, the whole ecosystem of GE stuff, you don't have to stay within. These just happen to be 3 that work together, that work with whatever system that you have.
Yeah.
That can kind of enhance or complement some of the other things that you've already got. So I like the idea of smart plugs. That's one thing for me that, a lot of things that I have are smart devices, but there are just some things that it's like, oh yeah, that fan that we have in our window that I don't want to get up and unplug all the time or turn on, turn off. I can actually control it from my phone or just use my voice. I'm laying there and it's like, oh, it is getting much cooler tonight. Just turn off the fan.
Right.
So, yeah, you can really smarten some things up for not very much money at all.
Yeah.
So, GE Cync, GE Lighting. All right, that's going to do it for this episode of the podcast.
Thanks for listening.
We appreciate it. If you guys have any questions, feedback, concerns, comments, anything, shoot us an email at podcast@AndroidGuys.com. We'd love to hear from you one way or the other. Luke, if someone wants to get a hold of you, how do they do that?
I am on Instagram and Twitter at Luke Gaul, Gaul.
And I'm on Instagram at Scott Webster and Twitter as SWebster77. Until next time, thanks for listening.
See ya.